Hi, Dust Bunnies. It's us again.
Hi guys.
Um, it is March.
Feels like long time no see, but not really long time no see.
Yeah, well, you've seen a steady stream of content coming out. Hopefully, I've been editing and throwing stuff out there as I can, and now we're here because it is officially March. Oh, by the way, Shaylee has straight hair again. She
Sorry,
can,
I was
she
figuring
can,
there.
she
Like I
can do
can see
hair
the
things.
knots now, and it's just
She's just like, it's so pretty and rubbing her hair, but
it's all it's anyway.
she's very excited because she can look at herself in the camera and pet herself now. But basically, the reason we're here is it is March, and
Yes,
as hopefully some of you that eventually watch this know, it is CP Awareness Month.
yes.
Um, we're gonna use that platform to officially launch our channel. So
In
hi,
a more
welcome, all
cohesive
this
way.
other stuff. I wanted to have enough content out there so that when people actually saw the channel, they would, have other stuff to watch aside from one video.
Yeah.
So here we are. Um, so as you know, Shaylee and I have both have CP, but I think I would just wanted to tell you guys in a short period of time that there's varying degrees of cerebral palsy,
Yes.
and in many cases, Shaylee and I are very lucky in the sense of we have all cognitive function and can speak relatively well in terms of articulating. Some days that varies based on how dumb I am, but
Now, some days that varies based on level of the mouth wanting to move, but
yeah,
like,
yeah. Um, so I guess like I won't speak too much. He's more well versed in CP, but the
I'm really
tr-
not.
the
I kind of am, but
the truth is, the only message I want you guys to take from this, from my side of things, is everybody's different with this particular
diagnosis.
diagnosis. That's the word. I was gonna go with disease, and that's the wrong word.
Nope. Nope.
So
Cerebral palsy is not a
I'm gonna offend my own kind if I use that word. Um,
disease.
so that's not what I meant, but there's varying degrees of this diagnosis, and everybody's different. But that doesn't mean that everyone doesn't have value in this community, and I just want people to know that we love and support all of you. You're wonderful people. I've met many people with varying degrees of CP. They're all excellent people. All it does is take time to get to know everyone, and we're all pretty great if you actually give us a shot. So
I mean, we try to be anyway.
yeah, that's my only real message to you guys this week is just be aware. Um, I guess before I let Chili go hard, I
What am
have.
I going on? Wait, what?
Well, I assume you would just have many things to say. You always do. So before I let Chili go hard, I have three rules for me personally with regards to CP. Just number one, don't assume things. Okay, so
I
don't
could say
assume
something
that.
Dad always said, but it's not appropriate.
Don't assume that the person you're meeting in with a disability, whether it's CP or otherwise, has anything else wrong with them, or other than the thing you see or don't see before them.
Hmm.
Don't assume either way. But
Yeah.
like I hated the idea of like people be assuming I had cognitive problems and different things along with my
Yeah.
physical disability. So that's number one.
And just to touch on that, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but just a same thing on the other end of the spectrum. Like if somebody looks like they pass for able-bodied and then they're not, don't assume that like they can do more than they can.
Yeah, just I mean again, in our case, there's varying degrees of CP, and we both work directly with a person that if you were to look at this individual, you would not assume that they had cerebral palsy. So again, varying degrees. So don't assume either way. Um, Number two, just like love everybody, okay? Like I mean, as corny as that sounds, the truth is like you don't know what everybody's dealing with. Even with
Yeah.
cerebral palsy, you have no idea what people are dealing with. So just include everyone. Do the best you can. Um, treat treat us like people. I guess. I
Treat
mean,
people the way you want to be treated.
yeah, golden rule as it were. But it's just there's a lot of like you know misconceptions out there with CP. Like you have to talk to us differently and different things. It's not
Please
true.
don't be that person.
Don't be that. Don't be that person. Just don't be that person. And my third and final thing is basically just if you meet somebody with CP, generally sit down. If you want to interact with them, just sit down and like listen to them for a few minutes. Don't be the dominant person of the conversation to start off with, because
Yeah.
they'll tell you oftentimes they will tell you their own story,
Exactly.
right?
Like we've
So
grown up learning how to train people how to interact with us, teach people how we communicate, how we function. That's what we know how to do. Let us do it.
yeah, and that way it's easier on us, it's easier on you, and then we can grow our relationship from there going forward. So those are my three like pet peeves or rules, whatever you want to call them. Um, just remember those things, and you and I will get along great.
Yes.
And that's basically it for me, because I mean, as far as Shaylee's concerned, she's done a lot of different things with like CPA experience and uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
just
I
been
actually
more
don't
well.
know what to say. Thank you.
You're basically more well versed in our own community than I
I
am.
really, weirdly, I
So
am, and I think that's just because I grew up with other people. Like there was a, another guy in my school that had a more severe version of it, and one of my cousins actually has it as well. So I think that's just because I was around it a little bit more.
yeah. So is there any particular message you wanted to give people?
I don't know. What are you wanting me to go hard? Like, are we educating on what, like CP? What am I doing?
Whatever you want. I mean, it's CPA Awareness Month, so we can do more than
Yes,
one of these.
that's a solid point. CP Awareness Month goes from now until March 31st, and March 25th specifically is like World CP Day. There's one in October and then there's one in March, but I tend to acknowledge the one in March a little bit more just because it is the awareness month. And just so you know, the awareness color is green. So if you wanted to join us in being like Spirit Day ish,
Yeah, we'll wear some green. I mean, I'm
yes.
kind of wearing it ish right now.
I am very not. Had I known we were filming this video before like 2 hours ago, I would have worn something green. But
I mean, to be fair, it's mostly just that I want to get this out because it's been a couple of days since the start of March, and so yeah, it's mostly just we want you guys to know that we are celebrating it, and if you would like to celebrate with us, that'd be dope.
yes.
So
So
cool.
we are going to do probably a few different videos. And like, if you have questions about CP, if you want us to address something in particular, shoot us a comment, shoot us a message,
Yeah,
get in
we
touch
have an
somehow.
email address, so I will put it in the description next time for this particular video. So if you want us to talk about anything, I'm sure Shaylee will be vlogging throughout the month, as she's been doing. So that those are up on the channel already. Some of them.
Some of them.
We're working on others. Some of them just don't want to format correctly, which is just unfortunate. But I'll deal with that as we go. But yeah, basically look out for a month full of random content with regards to our disability, and we'll continue
Yeah.
that going forward. But in
It's
particular,
going to be a lot of random comments.
yes, it's there's no rhyme or reason right now. We're just kind of
Nope.
trying to figure out what works.
I mean,
So
I feel like we have a little bit of time. Maybe we should give like a general outline of like what, like, I know we kind of did it in our intro video, but maybe more specifically what the diagnosis is, how it got diagnosed, how it affects us, blah, blah, blah.
yeah, sure. I mean that is in our intro video, but we will do a
Yeah.
small
Small
blurb
little.
today.
I mean, we kind of did do it a little bit of like how it affects us, but we didn't really explain what it was.
Yeah. So I don't know if you want to go with
Do
this.
you want me to? I've got the more medical
Yeah,
terminology,
go
but if you
go
want to
ahead.
go
Go ahead. Just let her go crazy, guys. Um,
Okay, so cerebral palsy is basically it's a brain disorder in which the brain does not communicate with the rest of the body. In my case, it was because I was born early and I had a bleed in my brain, and that meant the part of my brain that controls motor function didn't develop all the way. So basically, it means any signals that get sent from the brain don't actually necessarily get completely translated correctly in the body. So that translates into all the symptoms we kind of went into in our intro video. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Um,
what else.
from my experience, all I can really say is same, basically. I was officially diagnosed shortly before my first birthday, I believe.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
actually remember when I was. I'm pretty sure I would have been young because I had started physio by the time I was like 3 or 4. I had my first surgery by the time I was 4, so I would have had to have been diagnosed pretty young.
yeah. So it's been with us for
Forever, and
literally
it's
as
not
long as
going
we can
away.
remember. So it's not going away.
No,
Um,
there's not a cure for it. You can manage symptoms, but there's not a cure.
yeah. So it's a journey. It's actually like from my perspective, it adds to a lot of different life experiences. As frustrating as they can be at times, it's you're humbled in a lot of ways. Your body humbles you almost on a day to day basis.
Yep,
So
you're like,
it's
oh, this is what we're doing today. Okay, cool.
yeah, pretty much. It's a new experience almost every day. So it's kind of like, okay, what's gonna happen today? Cool, that's dope.
Pretty much. Am I gonna get annoyed because I dropped something on the floor and can't pick it back up, or are we gonna have?
Mostly like my phone, for example.
Yeah, honestly, it, yeah.
But yeah, so it's little things like that. I guess kind of my story is just I think I'm pretty sure I had my umbilical cord wrapped around my neck when I was a baby. Um, Brain bleed, as she said, same deal. And my mom had to have a C-section. They didn't think I was gonna make it. Then I did,
And we're
and
here now.
here we
I
are.
don't think they ever like pronounced me that close to death. Like you were not supposed to make it. I think I was relatively okay. I just was immediately incubated.
Yeah. I just kept on hanging on. And then I started to breathe on my own, and then it was like, okay, I guess he's good. And then early childhood, I think my mom told me this story. Um, they took me to, I think it was a speech therapist or some sort of therapist to like assess my cognitive ability at a really young age. And when the therapist started talking to me, as my mom puts it, you started to banter back and forth, and you were so quick that I was like, "There's no way he's not normal." So he's not cognitively normal, if there is that the right
Yeah,
word. So
physical body is very not normal. Brain is relatively fine, except for the fact that we both absolutely suck at math.
yeah, I don't think that's my brain. I think that's just me.
No, that
Uh,
is actually a CP thing. Actually, that's
re-
a thing.
really? What?
I don't remember the name for it, but somebody in like a Facebook support group that I'm in said that it's a thing.
No
It's
way.
like dyscalculia, I think is what it's called. It's kind of like dyslexia, but with numbers.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow, act- that actively blew my mind, dude. Did not know that was a thing. Oh, all right. Next time my dad bugs me about math, I'm gonna be like, "Suck it. It's
It's
a disease."
partially an us thing, but it's also partially like that part of our brain was probably a little bit more damaged. And it's easier to like recover language and stuff like that because you hear it all the time.
Okay, well, I'm still gonna just blame it on the other thing.
Hmm.
So, I mean, we're gonna go with that.
So yeah, that is a legitimate CP thing though. Like probably 70% of the group was like, yeah, I suck at math too.
Yeah, I'm terrible. It is awful.
It's really bad.
Um, yeah. So I mean, I was okay up until about grade 10, and then I had to do trig.
Yeah, that was. Ugh.
So, yeah.
Grade 11 foundations for me was the worst class ever.
It's amazing I even graduated because I was grandfathered in so I could do logic instead of actual math. So I graduated university because of that. So that's cool.
See, and I just straight up picked a degree that avoids math entirely.
Yeah, it was probably a good call to be honest. Sorry about the yawn.
We just made probably lots of people yell.
My bad. Sorry. Um, yeah, no, it's. I mean, again, that was a fun story, just in general. My mom being like, "Oh, he's good." So they made the executive decision when I was like 3 or 4 to be like, he's gonna go into a regular school and different things.
Yeah.
And the rest is, as they say, is history. I've been relatively um, immersed in able-bodied culture, basically, for most of my
Yeah,
life.
I'm much more the disabled culture one, and I don't know why that. Maybe it's because I'm more medically complicated and grew up around it. Maybe it's because I had other people. I don't know.
I think it's a little column A, a little column B. You've heard of, you heard Shaylee's medical background. Mine is none. Is general. I haven't really had anything go wrong. Knock on wood. That's going to happen, as it were. It's just the way the body works. Our bodies work.
Yeah,
But
you.
for most of my like young childhood and adulthood, it's just everybody's just been like, "Hey, Brian, how's it going?" And it's just been
Yeah.
my life. So
I'm
yeah.
definitely the one that's been a little bit more medicalized, just because that was my life.
Um, that isn't to say that I haven't given back to my own community over the years.
Yeah, you
Um,
definitely have.
so I have worked on many projects that has helped the disabled community throughout my life. Will continue to advocate, obviously,
We're here to
um,
do it.
and it's just kind of we wanted to bring our own unique stories to the table because hers is so vastly more different than mine, but we still love the community so much, and
Yeah, we love it in different ways, but we contribute the best we can either way. Like
yeah,
I'm much more the person that's like deep dive into actually helping like people with like the physical medical crap, and you're just like I will work on products and consult on accessibility, but I don't really like actively think about the fact that I'm disabled regularly. And I
no,
mean, neither do I guess, but
I just I just want to improve the life and general lifestyle of the disabled community. So,
yeah.
CP in general obviously will always be near and dear to my heart. So, throughout my life, it's always been like, will you be the voice of this? And the answer's always been yes.
Because we
So,
have to be, because we have a voice.
yeah, and so again, I can't speak for everybody here, um, but I hope that the things you take away from this little vlog or whatever you want to call this podcast vlog, who cares?
Whatever this turns into, both probably.
Little column A, little column B, but whatever you take from this is, despite our differences, we love the community, we love each other. Um, we make it work no matter what.
Yeah.
So,
It's always a little interesting,
hence
but
the channel title.